Hello! So, it's technically not even the end of January as I'm filming this, but I start studying for Step 1 tomorrow. So I figured that while I still can, I would take a step back and reflect on my OBGYN rotation. Our school approaches the OBGYN rotation in one of two ways. There's the clerkship model where you spend a certain amount of time in each of the different parts of OBGYN, working with a whole bunch of different attendings, residents, other people. And then there's the apprenticeship model where you spend most of your time with one or a small handful of attendings and you follow their schedule no matter where it takes them. One of the interesting things about OBGYN is how varied the specialty is within itself. And so I think the two models allow you two different perspectives on a specialty that's pretty diverse. I was at a site that followed the apprenticeship model, so I was with one physician the majority of the time. There were times where I didn't go into the hospital until 4 p.m. but came out at like 9 or 10 p.m. There were times when I only worked in the morning or when I worked all day. And every single week, every day was different. So I didn't really know what my schedule was going to look like until maybe a few days before. One of the interesting things about OBGYN as a specialty is that it has a little bit of everything. If you enjoy outpatient or ambulatory care, basically primary care, then outpatient gynecology most closely resembles that. If you enjoy being in the OR, there's an entire surgical side of the specialty with gynecological procedures as well as surgeries such as C-sections. If you like inpatient medicine, then you can work in labor and delivery, managing patients who are in labor or are giving birth, helping them give birth, and then managing them before they leave the hospital. One thing about OBGYN that I didn't really realize, or I guess didn't really expect, is how surgical it is. It seemed like loving the OR was actually a pretty important part of going into OBGYN. And you could definitely see how excited and happy my preceptor was when she was going into surgery or when she was in the OR doing her thing. For me, on the other hand, I think I most enjoyed being in clinic. Women's health is really awesome, and the environment of the outpatient clinic was just really warm and wonderful for patients who came in. I also really liked all of the outpatient procedures we got to do, helping patients with contraception, like putting in IUDs or implants, doing endometrial biopsies, doing different scopes, a lot of things we could do in the office without having to go into the OR. And I think one of the nice things about family medicine, to put in a plug for the specialty that I want to go into, is that we get to do a lot of these outpatient procedures as well, given the appropriate training. So that's pretty exciting. Additionally, and this might just be because I was at an apprenticeship model site, the hours were really nice. Again, as I mentioned, there were a lot of times where I didn't need to go into the office until the afternoon, or I only worked half a day. I had a couple of random 3-day weekends because my preceptor would have been on call on Sunday and post-call on Monday, so we didn't need to go in on Monday. Just random things like that. And because I'm studying for Step 1 next, I really appreciated those lighter hours. Another thing that I really enjoyed was labor and delivery. I got to deliver 2 babies, with help from a midwife, of course, and it was pretty unforgettable. What a cool experience to have during medical school for any student, really. Basically, to put it briefly, I did enjoy my OBGYN rotation. I liked the mix of primary care types of things and procedures. I didn't mind being in the OR, as I mentioned during my surgery rotation reflection, and it was a nice way to end my clinical rotations of 3rd year. I basically took my last shelf exam of 3rd year yesterday, which is kind of crazy. So that brings me to the end of my OBGYN reflection. Pretty short and sweet. My next rotation, if you can call it a rotation, is studying for Step 1. We are given 6 weeks to study for Step 1, and I will be using a little over 5 of those 6 weeks. My main goal during this time, despite all the studying I have to do, is to continue taking care of myself, because I think if you don't take care of yourself, you can't really do any of the things you want to do. I've made my study schedule, I've built in time to eat, work out, sleep, all those things, because I think one of the biggest things about studying for Step 1 is learning to build that endurance and that stamina to make it through such a long exam. And so taking good care of myself is going to play a big role in being able to get through that really long test. I have a feeling my February video is not going to be very interesting because I will be studying for Step 1 throughout pretty much the entire month. But I'll do my best. I will be giving myself about a day off each week. We'll see how well that goes and how well I can keep that up, but on my days off, I'm going to try and study as little as possible, get some home things done, maybe go out and, you know, relax, take a break, stuff like that. For now, I'm having a pretty good start to the new year, having just finished my last clinical rotation of third year. It's so weird. I'm almost done with third year. I'm gonna be a fourth year soon. Ugh, hard to believe. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video.